Judging by the complete ignorance of your statement.
Hello, baby.
This entire mountain was plastic as it rose rapidly. These strata were still soft and plastic when this entire mountain rose.
That's fascinating, Neff, but unfortunately the mountains weren't pushed up when they were folded. That's a completely different process. The formation of the mountains has to do with the differential weathering of rocks. Some are more resistant to weathering than others. Now, about the folding, let me explain. It doesn't seem to have occurred to you that as rocks get squeezed like these, they get buried deeper and deeper within the earth. Now, here's the average increase at depth. In a tectonically active zone, it would be much higher. And the only thing that kept these rocks from melting as they were buried several miles beneath the surface is the overlying pressure. Now, about your idea that these soft muds were laid down in the flood and then squeezed up in a very short time into mountains. I hate to break this to you, honey, but you wouldn't get distinct layers of limestone with little fossils in them and shales with little fossils in them and sandstones in distinct layers. You'd end up with a great big old pile of undifferentiated mud. In other words, creationist mush, like your ideas. Now, to test your hypothesis about folding those flood muds up into giant mountains, try this experiment. Get some layered jello and squeeze it real hard while heating it, and let's see how well it forms folds.
The folding proves that these strata were plastic when they were compressed. That means soft, sedimentary material. Okay? Do you follow me? You with me?
Let me try this one more time. The sediments below have been lain down, presumably by your flood, and then by mysterious forces been squeezed up, and they've been eroded, and then later on new sediment, undeformed, has been lain down on top. Unless you're proposing that your flood mysteriously stopped in the middle while that happened, it doesn't work.
You can only get exquisite fossils because of a flood. See, we've already been over this, haven't we? That long deposition won't create such a fossil because it rots away, especially soft tissues, right?
If by we went over this, you mean you presented your absurd notions about what science actually says about fossilization, then yeah, we went over it. But let me repeat this because apparently I'm talking to a near impenetrable wall of obtuseness. Nobody has suggested that it took a long time to bury the damn things. As I explained, everybody's recognized for a very long time, dating back to the days of William Strata Smith and Baron Cuvier, that there's a natural bias in the fossil record toward rapid burial. Fossilization as a process, that is, remineralization and replacement of the original organic material, does take a very long time.
All of the fossils that you show in that video clip of yours, guess what? They're all in sedimentary material that was rapidly laid down by cataclysmic action, you see.
Now, if you have not the slightest understanding of how research into modern sedimentary environments reveal how different kinds of sedimentary rock are formed. No, you have a belief in a giant book of ancient Hebrew fables, and it has a flood in it. So you take bits and pieces of isolated information, selectively ignoring anything that contradicts your ideas, and you make it fit your flood story.
They have to be buried rapidly, see? That means flood.
I've tried to give you a little insight, Neff, into the fact that there are a lot of environments that can bury things rapidly. You don't need a big flood. I've also tried to give you a little insight into the fact that there are many environments that can impede decay. Remember this guy, Neff? I don't have time to teach you a course in remedial sedimentology.
Now, I don't know if you knew this. This is a really cool bit of trivia. You know, back in the 50s and before, evolutionist scientists used to claim that dust storms is what created the majority of fossils.
Neff, like I said before, since the days of William Stratus Smith and Baron Cuvier, we knew that sedimentary rocks and fossils were created in mostly aqueous environments, and you're so full of crapulence, we need one of these.
They found soft dinosaur tissue.
Okay, Neff, I'll keep that to myself. If you'll keep this to yourself, I'll let you in on a secret. They figured out that that's simply a bacterial film. Bacterial films are pretty common. You know, it's like on that tooth you never brush.
And the scientist, one of the lady scientists that found the first example of that, she verified it was soft tissue, and the evolutionist that she worked for fired her for telling the truth about what she found.
Neff, she's a professor at NC State. She still works there. She's still publishing. She's very well respected. She just got something wrong.
Because they didn't want anybody to know soft tissue, dinosaur soft tissue. And this one was discovered, but it leaked.
It leaked out? If you mean it was published in a peer-reviewed journal? Okay, it leaked out. Is that what happened to your brain?
Tell me, buddy. Well, I guess it's too late. It leaked. It got to the news. It was a dinosaur that was buried rapidly in floodwaters.
Neff, I think we've established that fossilization is rare and that rapid burial is usually involved. And sometimes rapid burial does entail a flood. So, okay, it's not like the original material was preserved. You seem to have ignored the fact that all of the carbonaceous, all the organic material has been replaced or mineralized.
Maybe the creationists will forget about this one.
No, I think they'll follow your lead, Neff, and cherry pick and misrepresent data, or barring all else, they'll just make shit up.
This dinosaur was found with a crocodile, you know, and dinosaurs are supposedly evolved from reptiles, you know. But here we've got a living fossil crocodile found with this dinosaur.
Sugar bridges? Crocodilians and dinosaurs apparently evolved about the same time. They just went along different evolutionary paths. Shh.
I gotta tell you, I think you're overtly sexual, inappropriate, and pseudo-affectionate use a term of endearment there is... I just feel like I need a shower all of a sudden.
Well, Magic Thighs, while you're in the shower, you might want to check under your nose because there appears to be a dead gerbil stuck to your upper lip.